Hello and Namaste, my name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I always talk about how you can move abroad, what are the opportunities for you in different countries, and I also give you a lot of freelancing work from home opportunities because I want you to be financially stable throughout this entire process. So in today's video, continuing on our topic of finance, I did want to discuss some of the mistakes that I made in terms of planning my moves abroad and things that I want you to avoid. If you're interested in knowing what is it that you should avoid and what is it that you should probably pay more focus and more attention to right now, then this video is for you. So if you are looking to move to a different country or a different city, or if you're in general just interested in knowing what adulting is all about, stick around. Okay, before I jump onto the video, I do want to state that the reason why I'm making this video, which is slightly different from the topics that I cover, is because many of you have asked me, what are the mistakes that I made or what is it that I'd like you to consider? And I think a lot of you genuinely are curious about money, finances in general. So I thought it'd be important to talk about what are the finance mistakes that I made that I don't want you to make. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I first lived in India. I did my CA there, which is Chartered Accountancy. I worked there for 2 years after my CA, post which I moved to the United States. And I lived in the US for 3 years, after which I moved to Canada and I've completed 2.5 years. I'm actually coming close to 3 years this summer. So I'll be 3 years in Canada then. But right now I'm 2.5 years into Canada. And I'm a CA, CPA, CISA. So that's my background. I've lived in 3 countries and there were a lot of mistakes that I made when I moved from India to the US, which I did not repeat when I moved from US to Canada. First up is understanding the basic finances that you're always going to need. So when I moved from India to the US, I had basically spent my entire money on my wedding and I had only 20,000 rupees left in my Indian bank account. I thought I'll get a job like within 2 or 3 days and I'll be fine and I won't need that money. Of course, I had my husband to support, but I'm not somebody who wanted to take that support. I wanted to be financially independent. That was my number one mistake. Please do not underestimate how long it's going to take for you to settle down. If you are somebody who's planning to move to Canada on a permanent residency, I'd say anywhere between 3 to 6 months worth of savings is something I highly recommend. You may not need it, best to be prepared for the worst. So please make sure that you have some savings in account before you move, which is why I keep doing all these work from home videos where you can easily sit at home, do some work online and make money. So that's the whole point of me giving you these work from home opportunities so that you can work from home and side by side also apply for opportunities abroad. Now, if you don't plan to move on a PR, you're looking for a visa sponsorship, then one term that you have to look out for is relocation. You should not only consider companies that give you just visa sponsorship, but also companies that offer you a relocation package. Why? Because relocating in itself can be very expensive. Visa sponsorship only means that they will pay for your work permit or work visa, but relocation will mean they'll pay for your flight, your first couple days of accommodation, food, meals, travel, everything, and any support that you may need, including insurance from day one, etc. So everything is covered in that. So always look for a good relocation package if you're looking for a work permit opportunity. Now, if you tell me 3 to 6 months sounds a lot, what is the bare minimum that you need? So I still think that you need about 2 to 4 months worth of savings. What you should do is try and go and do your research online and figure out what is it that you might need if you're moving to Canada, depending on the city that you're moving into. If you're moving into Toronto, then I think maybe $3,000 a month is a good estimate for a couple. I'm not talking about a single person here. So couple, $3,000 per month is a good estimate. So maybe $6,000 to $10,000 is what you should aim to at least come in with. I understand that can be a hefty amount, which is why you need to start working and start saving up. Please do not make the mistake of moving without any money, because if things do not work out in your favor, it is going to be very tough. I've been there. I'm giving you my personal experience and personal thought. Second thing that I want to recommend is investments. Now, I am from finance, so I think some of these things do come naturally to me, but I do believe that having strong investments in multiple diverse spheres is very, very important if you are planning to be an immigrant. Just to give you some example about myself, when I started working in India, I started investing in India itself. So I had my retirement savings, I had my life insurance, I had some other savings for my family. So I had a bunch of savings. I'll detail them in this video. When I moved to the US, I started my retirement fund there as well. So I have a retirement fund in the US as well, where my money is now investment, kept safe. And then I moved to Canada. I have my retirement fund here as well. So I actually have retirement fund in 3 countries. Now, who knows, I may not need it, but the fact is that I'm secure. Tomorrow, if I want to move back to my home country, which is India, or if I want to move back to the US, or if I want to stay in Canada, I know that my retirement is secured. Now, this is my style. Your style could be different, but identifying your style and investing according to your style is very important. That's my style of investing. Your style could be different. You can figure out your style and invest according to that style. But what is important that you come in with both savings and investments. I do not recommend coming in without either of them. I do want to tell you that when I moved from India to the US, I had decent savings in my PF, which is my retirement account, which I always had the option of using. And that gave me a lot of comfort. Even though it wasn't liquid cash, I could still withdraw it because I wasn't working in India and I did not have my tax status in India anymore. Now, suppose you have a country in mind, say it's Canada, UK, Germany, whichever country you want to move to, you have that in mind and you're wondering what expenses should you keep in mind when you're budgeting your couple monthly expenses, like the first 2, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So I would say budget in the rent, the utilities, you're going to need your phone, you're going to need basic stuff like Netflix and all those subscriptions because we're still in lockdown, at least here in Toronto. As I make this video, we're still in lockdown. So I am pretty sure most of us have survived on those throughout the pandemic. So basic subscriptions like those, and apart from that, groceries, eating out. So please do not make a miserly budget. Leave a lot of buffer, and depending on the country that you move to, you may have to buy stuff, clothes especially, not just winter wear. I also suggest that you buy formal wear from the country that you're moving to because dressing style here can be very different from your dressing style in home country. So these are the basic expenses that you should budget for when you plan to move. I budgeted for that when I moved from US to Canada, and thankfully both of us had decent savings in our USD accounts, which we were able to transfer to Canada very easily. So we moved in with a very decent sum of savings. We were well prepared. At least I was well prepared. I did not repeat the mistake that I made the first time. Now let's talk about investments. How do I plan my investments? I'm going to give you a very basic structure of how I plan my investment. First up, I have my retirement savings in all the countries that I've worked in, which is India, US, and Canada. These are the countries that I have worked in the sense that I've paid taxes in these countries. And I intend to hold on to these retirement savings just because I'm still not sure where I may be. Tomorrow I may be in a completely different country, not in either of these 3, and I might open a retirement account even there. So I believe in having retirement accounts wherever I go and wherever I earn. For my India retirement savings, I did invest in a specific product, and I will talk about that in more details. But for now, let's move on to point number 2. The second most important thing that I think all of us need is life insurance for ourselves and our loved ones. I made sure that I had decent protection. My father worked in Life Insurance Corporation of India. So that kind of had it ingrained in me that I need decent life insurance, not just for myself, but also for my loved ones, so my family. And I have those insurances back in my home country and also in Canada. Now you may wonder, if I'm planning to move abroad, do I really need life insurance in my home country? That can depend on your preference. When I first moved, did not know if I'd want to live outside of India for, a very long period of time. So I was like, it's better to have life insurance in India just in case I decide to return back home. I wanted to have something safe and stable from day one, that if I decide to move back, I have my insurance figured out. The third thing that I did was I started investing in US stocks because I was moving to North America, and it kind of made sense to start investing in these stocks. Because I was moving to North America, it made sense to me to start investing in US stocks and Canadian stocks as well. Now I have decent investments in Canadian stocks, but US stocks is also something that I'm still interested in. I still invest in, probably not as much as Canadian stocks anymore, just because my preferences have changed. But who knows, the preference tomorrow may be completely different. So I do invest in US and Canadian stocks. Apart from that, lastly, I invest in stocks in my own home country, which is India. And because I have the privilege of having an entire family there, investing in stocks in India, I think, is much easier because we can have a discussion together as a family. I have my friends that I can reach out to, just ask them for help. What is it that I need? What do they think of a particular stock? What is the temperature check for a particular stock looking like? But I do understand that I don't live in India, and I always need experts to help me because I want my money to be safe. Which is why when it comes to my stocks in India, I choose small case. If you're wondering why small case, well, simply because I get to choose my model portfolio, or I get to pick from portfolios that have been curated by seasoned investment professionals. I also have the flexibility of choosing where I want to invest, whether I want to invest in REITs, whether I want exchange-traded funds, etc. Most importantly, the funds can be held for as long as I want, and overall, I get enough autonomy over my own money. And if you remember, I was just talking about a special place where I invest my retirement savings in India. So I use the AWI, which is all-weather investment. This is specifically for people who want to start their retirement funds in India, retirement savings, retirement investments. So that's where I go and invest my retirement money into. That way I know that my retirement money is safe. In the end, whatever you do, whichever pathway you take, whether you change a city or whether you change a country, do remember that changing cities or moving abroad is a novel idea for your life. And life is all about investing in new ideas for your present self and for your future self. So what new idea will you invest in today? On that note, this short and sweet video has also come to an end. I hope that you found this video informative. The only disclaimer that I want to add is please remember that you should not pay any money to anyone to get a job, whether in a different city or in a different country, anywhere in the world. Please do not pay anyone any money and always move with decent savings and investments so that you can always be financially secure wherever you are. And most importantly, you and your loved ones can sleep in peace. Hope you learn from my mistakes and start investing with Small Case. Everything else that you need to know about Small Case is in the description box below, so don't forget to check it out before you leave. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, smash the bell icon, and also let me know in the comments what else would you like to know. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. I always love curating videos around immigration, which country can you move to, what opportunities our country is offering around the globe, and I also love creating videos around work from home opportunities. Since you're here, join the journey. Subscribing is free and it makes me smile wide. I promise to see you in the next video. Until then, please make sure you take care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.